there was a widow gathering sticks. Addressing her, he said, "Please bring a little water in a vessel for me to drink." She was setting off to bring it when he called after her. "Please," he said, "bring me a scrap of bread in your hand." "As the Lord your God lives," she replied, "I have no baked bread, but only a handful of meal in a jar and a little oil in a jar. I am just gathering a stick or two to go and prepare this for myself and my son to eat, and then we shall die." But Elijah said to her, "Do not be afraid. Go and do as you have said. But first, make a little scone of it for me and bring it to me. And then make some for yourself and for your son. For thus the Lord speaks, the God of Israel. Jar of milk shall not be spent. Jug of oil shall not be empty before the day when the Lord sends rain on the face of the earth." The woman went and did as Elijah told her, and they ate the food, she, himself, and her son. The jar of the meal was not spent, nor the jug of oil empty, just as the Lord had foretold through Elijah. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. My soul give praise to the Lord. My soul give praise to the Lord.
It is the Lord who keeps faith forever, who is just to those who are oppressed. It is He who gives bread to the hungry, the Lord who sets prisoners free. My soul give praise to the Lord. My soul give praise to the Lord. It is the Lord who gives sight to the blind, who raises up those who are bowed down. It is the Lord who loves the just, the Lord who protects the stranger. My soul give praise to the Lord. My soul give praise to the Lord. The Lord upholds the widow and orphan, but what's the path of the wicked? The Lord will reign forever. Zion's God from age to age. My soul give praise to the Lord. My soul give praise to the Lord. My soul give praise to the Lord.
A reading from the letter to the Hebrews. It is not as though Christ has entered the man-made sanctuary, which was only modeled on the real one, but he was heaven himself, so that he could appear in the actual presence of God on our behalf. And he does not have to offer himself again and again, like the high priests going into the sanctuary year after year with the blood that is not his own. Or else he would have had to suffer over and over again since the world began. Instead of that, he has made his appearance once and for all, now at the end of the last age, to do away with sin by sacrificing himself. Since men only die once, and after that comes judgment, so Christ too offers himself only once to take the faults of many on himself, when he appears the second time, it will not be to deal with sin, but to reward with salvation those who are waiting for him. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Even if you have to die, says the Lord, he is faithful, and I will give you the crown of life. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Lord be with you. A reading from the Liturgical according to Mark. In his teaching, Jesus said, "Beware of the scribes who like to walk about in long robes, to be greeted obsequiously in the market squares, and to take the front seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at banquets. These are the men who swallow the property of widows while making a show of lengthy prayers. The more severe will be the sentence they receive." He sat down opposite the treasury and watched the people putting in money into the treasury, and many of the rich put in a great deal. A poor widow came and put in 2 small coins, the equivalent of a penny. Then he called his disciples and said to them, "I tell you solemnly, this poor widow has put in more than all who have contributed to the treasury. For they have all put in money they had to her. But she, from the little she had, has put in everything she possessed, all she had to live on." The verdict of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
When I read this gospel yesterday, I started to think of what it could mean to me as a person. Or what does it apply to me as a priest? Hardly would I find myself having to maybe put money in the collection box. So, is it all about giving money, or does it go beyond that? And then I came up with an idea that is giving it all you have got. That is the idea that came to my mind. Whatever you're giving, give it all you have got. And I said, okay, how does it apply to me? And I came up with this statement. If you want to be happy in life, give it all you have got. Don't be half-hearted in anything you do. Don't be half-hearted in anything you do. So it is not all about giving money, but about the attitude and the mindset of the giver. We know what it is to be half-hearted. That is, your mind is not there, your full attention, and your mind is sort of divided. If you have to deal with a college or university or even a school, you would identify a serious student, and you will also identify a half-hearted person, a half-hearted student who is not really concerned much about the education. In your place of work, you will also be able to identify a serious worker and the one who only wants a paycheck. It's all about full-heartedness and half-heartedness. Half-heartedness is fast becoming a plague. It has resulted in slum buildings, run-down neighborhoods. It creates inferior production and undermines the economy. It makes for a terrible waste of talent, broken homes, dead-end careers, boredom, and loss of morale. Half-hearted people normally would disappoint you if you have to deal with them. They disappoint, and sometimes they annoy us. It is frustrating when we are talking with someone about an important matter and realize that they are only half listening. They'll be looking at you nodding, and you feel that they are listening to you or they are paying attention, but their minds are maybe miles and miles away. That is another sign of half-heartedness. Talking to somebody is nodding. I do have this fault myself. Maybe I come out at the end of Mass and you're shaking hands with people, somebody's talking to you, and you are nodding, and lots of people saying hello, and you want to say hello at the same time. I remember once somebody said, "Father, are you listening to me?" He says, "Yes, I am. I'm listening to you, but at the same time, I'm so distracted with so many people wanting my attention." And I know a priest, when I was in Birmingham, a friend of mine, he passed away some years ago. You'll be talking to him, and he'll be looking away there, but he's keep listening to you all the same. So I'm talking about half-heartedness. It can be particularly annoying to have to take a car back again and again for servicing because repairs weren't done properly in the first place. You take a car to a mechanic, and then they begin to repair the car, and then you take it back home, and you discover that nothing was actually done on it. You have to take it back because he wasn't doing it with full-heartedness. It was half-hearted, but perhaps it was much after your money than having to do the right job at the same time. All of us have experienced irritation at somebody who promises next day delivery only to have us waiting days. Take for example, you have on the internet, you order something on the internet, it will be delivered to you the next day. And they say, okay, you're coming tomorrow, but what time? Between 8 and 5 o'clock. You have to wait all day. It means you don't have to go out at all that day. And at 5 o'clock, nothing happens. So you say, you ring them, "Oh, sorry," but they give one excuse or the other, "We will be there tomorrow." And the next day, nothing happens. And so, tomorrow that turns into several weeks. Half-heartedness is what we are talking about. This was a particular problem for Jesus. He cautioned his followers that entering the kingdom required full-hearted conversion to a new way of life. There will be no compromise between God and mammon. See, in the first reading, the prophet Elijah asked a poor widow for some food. Even though she was at the point of starving to death, she gave it to him, everything she had. You see, when I listened to that first reading, if I were put in her place, the place of the widow, the bargain was this: if you give me that remaining food, I would increase your jar. Normally, what would you have done? What I could have done was say, okay, increase the jar first. Then I can make it more to you. But she was ready to give it wholeheartedly. She gave everything. In the gospel, we see another poor widow giving her last penny to the temple treasury. You see what happened there? There were so many rich people coming in, and they were putting in just a fraction of what they had into the treasury. But this poor widow, the last penny she had, 2 little coins, she put them in. And the gospel says all she had to live on. And this is why I'm thinking about it's all about giving it with your whole heart, giving it all you've got in anything you do. Jesus commented on it with admiration, not for the money donated. So you see, it's not about the amount donated, but for her attitude. These were full-hearted people giving all their heart, these 2 widows. This is what linked them, these 2 widows in the first reading and the gospel. People were prepared to give it all their heart. They gave it wholeheartedly. Happiness goes hand in hand with full-heartedness. Half-hearted efforts in anything we do rob us of energy and effectiveness. If you are half-hearted, whatever you do would not be effective at all. You would not produce a good result. This applies especially to the way we live. If you love life, you should expect to live it to the fullest. If we love people, we should love them completely as they are, not in bits and pieces, for this quality or that. So, your spouse, why do you love your spouse? Not talking about love today. Probably maybe for one reason, maybe because she can cook very well, or rather, he is very tall and all that. Is it the only reason? What if that doesn't exist anymore? What do? It means you're loving half-heartedly. It's not completely, not the whole person. If a friend means a lot to us, we should cherish them as precious and work to deepen our relationships. If we have a job to do, we should put ourselves into it with full attention and care. Before I conclude this speech, I'd like to ask myself a question. I always like to ask myself some questions. And this question might also apply to you. So the questions are, when you are involved in conversations, do you listen and not think about how you are going to respond? If you have a conversation with somebody, what happens to you? You spend time thinking about the response or listening. If you spend time thinking about what you are going to say, you are listening half-heartedly. It may look simplistic, but that is what it is. Talking to somebody all the time is thinking about what am I going to say next, and I'm nodding to you, but I'm only waiting for you to stop so that they can respond immediately or say what they want to say. If you are attending to a customer or a client at your place of work, do you do it with full attention or continue to worry about other concerns? In your place of work, you have to attend to people and appear before you. What do? Thinking about one problem at home, why they're talking to you, or why you're attending to them. And if you have to be maybe a caterer, you have to make tea. In the course of it, you spill the tea because your mind is not there on the customers. You spill the teas on the customer or the food, and you bring it up to the table, and you spill it there, because your mind is not actually there. Do you drive with full care and attention when you are driving on the road? Full care and attention, or your mind is there while you are thinking about something else, or maybe perhaps answering the phone with one hand. I think it's an offense not to drive with full care and attention. Full-heartedness is one of the simplest formula to enable you to live joyfully. You need to be where you are, heart and soul, in the grace of the moment, giving it all you have got. So it's not only about giving money. What I'm trying to say, or my own thinking of today's gospel, is that anything you have to give or to do, give it all you have got. Thank you.
Let us pray. That the church reflection of faith will be intensified during this year of faith, so as to lead all Christians to a more vigorous adherence to the gospel. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
For all veterans, as we celebrate Remembrance Day this week, may the Lord bless and reward those whose sacrifice has preserved our nation and freedom. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
That our families and our parish will be places of true, generous Christian hospitality, especially toward the most neglected in our midst. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
For Marisa, who is being baptized today, that God will help her parents to bring her up in true Christian virtues. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
For the sick and for those who care for them, that they may grow in love and respect for each other. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
For those who have died, and all those whose anniversaries occur at this time. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
Renew the grace of our baptism in each one of us. Lord, hear us.
Lord, graciously hear us.
We shall now invoke the saints to come and help us all, and also Marisa, who is the Spirit of God. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us. Saint John the Baptist,
Pray for us.
Saint Joseph,
Pray for us.
Saint Peter and Paul,
Pray for us.
all you men and women,
Pray for us.
today is my last celebration with you. I think it's proper. I just thank you for everything, and especially with the choir. I think now that I'm getting very closer to them and the relationship is becoming good, it's sad that I'm going in the choir. So, and I thank all of you for your contributions and your support, really. And I will miss you a lot. And you pray for me, and I will pray for you. We'll meet one day somewhere. And I think I will be graduating on the 29th of November, and I've invited all of you. And through the help of Mrs. Amo, I think they are doing something, and I'm not doing it myself. I cannot do it. And they are organizing something with the parishioners from St. Columbus and St. Peter's. So I invite all of you, come and we celebrate. And now that I have license to sentence the choir, don't cross me. Now that I have doctorate in law, don't cross me. And so I thank all of you once again, and I hope to see you on the 29th of November to celebrate that day. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Father William. I understand he has been working hard to keep this community all these months and years. So I thank him so much. Then also thank him for allowing me to presume the authority or permission to begin the Mass before he got in here. It's a normal procedure to be a little bit later than normal when we do things, but today he wasn't late. He said he had 2 Masses already, so he was trying to finish the Masses before coming over here. So thank you, Father William, and I'd like to thank the lovely choir and everybody here, and congratulate the parents of Marisa for bringing her for baptism today, and thank you all, and God bless you. I hope to be coming anytime I have time, and on the second Sunday of the month, as often as I can. Thank you, but of course you know who I am already. I am in the cathedral, helping out in the cathedral church. So thank you, and God bless you all.